Hi everyone, my name is Alyssa Louise McCall and I am a psychotherapist in the Washington, D.C. area. I am very excited to be here with you all today to celebrate Juneteenth as we all come together right now and look at ways that we can focus on empowering one another inside of our community. When thinking about some of the things that are going on right now in society, I just want to call out the elephant in the room that a lot of us may be feeling so many different things at once. I've been hearing that people are feeling a mixture of frustrated, people are feeling angry, people are feeling scared, people may be feeling anxious, depressed, overwhelmed. There's so many different things coming up for all of us right now. And then on the flip side, some of us may also be feeling a slight sliver of hope and thinking that things may get better this time around. Regardless of how we all are feeling during this time, it's going to be very important for us to take some moments to check in on ourselves and process how we're feeling so that we're able to move forward from it and overcome it. A lot of us right now are dealing with so many different things at once. Of course, with the pandemic right now, there may be feelings of isolation coming up for a lot of us right now, which doesn't make it any easier to process some of these negative emotions that are coming up for us in the midst of social, economic, and racial discrimination and injustices that we are dealing with in society right now. With that being said, despite that isolation that we may be feeling, we may still be finding ways to reach out to and care for and support one another, which is beautiful and amazing, and something that is definitely going to help our community be able to still thrive. With that being said, at the same time, there's nothing wrong with us continuing to fill the cups of others around us, but it's going to be just as important for us to ensure that we're also taking those same efforts and time to focus on empowering and uplifting ourselves as well and filling our own cups. That saying is true. You can't fill somebody else's cup unless your cup is filled and overflowing. So what I would like to do today is take some time to walk you all through some different methods for you to focus on ensuring your cup is also filled and overflowing. Because in order for us all to continue overcoming everything that we are experiencing right now and during this time, it's going to be important for us to focus on our own well-being. So one thing that is going to be beneficial for us is to, as I mentioned, take some time to do some check-ins with yourself. See how you are feeling during this time. You may notice that the way that you're feeling in the morning or in the afternoon or evening may be completely different from one another. Or it may be completely different day to day with how you're feeling in different moments. So it's going to be very crucial for you to, before focusing on meeting your needs, taking some time to really check in with yourself and assess how you're actually doing. And as you are taking those moments to check in with yourself and assess how you're doing, it's going to be beneficial to focus on what needs you have in that specific moment. So one thing that has been very beneficial for a lot of people when dealing with anxiety and feelings of overwhelm during this time is meditation. There are a lot of benefits of meditating, but there is one meditation in particular that has been coming up for myself and a lot of clients right now, and it's the peaceful or happy place meditation. In the midst of a pandemic, it's kind of difficult to escape and go to different locations that bring us joy. Different cities are having different regulations and policies around what we can and can't do right now. So while you are feeling sometimes a little bit trapped and isolated in the midst of this pandemic and the midst of different injustices being brought up, it's going to be helpful to take some time to get that mental escape, so to say. So what I'd like to take some time to do right now is to facilitate a peaceful and happy place meditation for you. So I'll give you a few moments to find a place that you feel comfortable right now. You can either sit down in a chair, you can lay down on your bed, or even lay down on the floor if that's what makes you feel at ease. So I'll pause for a few moments right now and allow you to get comfortable. All right, so hopefully you found that comfortable position for yourself, either seated or laying down. But what I want you to do is slowly breathe in through your nose and slowly breathe out through your mouth. Slowly breathe in again through your nose and out through your mouth. And with that next breath that you take, if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. And with each breath that you continue to take, I want you to allow each breath of oxygen to allow peace to flow throughout your body. Allow it to flow from your head and all the way down to your toes. Allow each breath to bring you that sense of peace, happiness, and joy. And now, as you continue to slowly breathe in and out, I want you to imagine yourself in a location that makes you feel at peace and makes you feel happy. This can be a place that you've visited before, or it can be a fictional place that you'd like to go. Regardless of the location, I want you to envision everything that you're seeing there. What things are you noticing? What things are filled in this environment that are filling you with peace? Are there people there with you, or are you there on your own? Is this location filled with plants or any aspects of nature? Or is this location indoors? Continue to imagine what things you are seeing in this location and allow it to fill you with a sense of peace. And as you continue to slowly breathe in and out, allow yourself to imagine what sounds you're hearing inside of this location. Is it the sound of music that you're hearing? Or even sounds in the midst of nature? Allow those images and sounds to continue to fill you with a sense of peace. And while you slowly breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, I want you to imagine what things are you smelling inside of this location. What scents are in this environment that continue to fill you with a sense of peace? And as you slowly breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, allow those images, those things that you're hearing, and those scents to continue to fill you with a sense of peace. And while you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, imagine what things are you tasting inside of this location. Is there food that's there that you're enjoying and that's making you happy? Are you tasting fresh and clean oxygen fill your lungs? And with each breath that you take, allow those images, sounds, scents, and tastes to fill you with a sense of peace. And as you continue to slowly breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, I want you to imagine what different things you're feeling inside of this location. Is it the feeling of a soft or comfortable cushion underneath you? Is it the feeling of a softer, gentle wind blowing? Or is it the feeling of a specific temperature that helps you to feel relaxed? And with each breath that you continue to take, allow those images, those sounds, those feelings, those scents, and those tastes to continue to fill you with that feeling of peace. And while you continue to allow that oxygen to flow within you, allow each breath to bring this image of the place that makes you feel most at peace and happy. Allow yourself to be filled with all of those senses that are coming up for you inside of this location. And in each moment that you're feeling these different senses, allow that peace to resonate throughout your body. And once again, feeling that sense of peace from the top of your head and all the way down to your toes. And as that oxygen continues to flow throughout your body, continue allowing it to fill you with that sense of peace. And once again, bring your attention back to your breathing with the slow breathe in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. And as you continue breathing, you can take a moment to just wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. And bringing that attention once again to the object that you're either seated or laying on. Continuing to slowly breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes. All right, thank you all for participating in that happy and peaceful place meditation. Hopefully right now you are noticing some differences in how you're feeling. Sometimes after meditating, it is beneficial to take a moment to just really reflect on how you are feeling now compared to prior to when you did that meditation. So if you are noticing that you're feeling a sense of peace right now, then meditation may be something that you should incorporate into your day-to-day routine to get a little bit of a break from that daily routine, hustle and bustle, and chaotic time that we are all experiencing right now. So if you ended up doing this meditation with others, sometimes it's beneficial to have a conversation with others right now around maybe some of those places that came up for you. What were some of those places that were bringing up that feeling of peace or happiness for you? And continuing to make that a place that you allow your mind to escape to in the midst of everything going on right now. So another practice that can be beneficial for people right now is just simply doing some breathing exercises. We may not always have time to do a longer meditation in the midst of our day, but sometimes a breathing exercise can have some of those same benefits and great impacts on us. As we are experiencing anxiety, we are putting our body through that fight or flight mentality. And, some people may get the sweaty palms, the heart racing, and things of that nature. But when we are experiencing anxiety, usually there is a trigger going to our brain that's telling our brain that things are not okay. And it can make it difficult for us to be productive, for us to fall asleep, or for us to even just concentrate on little things that were usually a lot easier for us to focus on. So sometimes doing a breathing exercise can help us to slow down our breathing, which will slow down our heart rate in that moment, and again, trigger to our brain that things are okay. So one breathing exercise that I like to do is slowly breathing in through my nose on a count of 7, holding that for 5 seconds, and slowly breathing out again on a count of 7. So when you are looking for moments in the midst of your day to incorporate this breathing exercise, you can do it maybe in the mornings before you're starting your workday, or even after eating your breakfast. You can do it during your lunch break or in the middle of your workday to kind of calm yourself and calm your mind in the midst of the stressful and busyness that you may be dealing with. Or you can also do it in the evening time as well, right before you're going to bed, to help calm yourself and relax your body and mind so that it's a little bit easier as you are trying to drift off to sleep. Regardless of when you decide to do this breathing exercise in the midst of your day, the good news is there's no such thing as doing it too much, because the more you do it, the better. So if you feel like it's more useful for you to do it 3 or 4 times throughout your day, definitely do that. I know sometimes people ask, how long should you do that breathing exercise when you're doing it at a time? I prefer to do it for at least 30 seconds, just to feel some of the benefits in that moment. But in all honesty, do it for as long as you need. because your body may be different than somebody else's, and what you may need may be completely different than another person. So if you find it beneficial to go through that breathing exercise probably about 5 times in one sitting, then do that. If less, that's fine. If more, that's fine too. Do whatever works best for you to ensure that you're allowing yourself to feel at peace during this stressful time. So another thing that I will bring up for folks right now is that there are a lot of great resources out there for incorporating meditation or other mindfulness practices into your day-to-day routine. We are in the day and age of technology, which can be very useful. So we can definitely use that to our advantage, of course, in moderation. I'll get to that part later on. But you can also just Google and search different pre-recorded guided meditations that you can listen to on YouTube. A lot of people are utilizing apps such as Headspace, Simple Habit, just to name a few. But there are free resources on YouTube that folks have already pre-recorded for you to use and for you to have access to, especially during this time. So I know I mentioned that I would get back to that piece around technology, but this other thing that's going to be very beneficial for us right now is taking moments to unplug. It is a very stressful and difficult time right now, especially being that we are dealing with so many different things coming up in media. A lot of times we automatically get those alerts for news, those alerts for social media on our phones, on our laptops, we're seeing them on our TV, and we're never getting a break from all of these different things that are happening right now that are causing us to feel stressed out and overwhelmed. So I highly recommend that you identify what works for you, but try to take some time to unplug from technology for a little bit. Try to give your mind and yourself a break from some of these things that we are seeing constantly through our phones and through our TVs, on the radio station, and the list just goes on. Because sometimes when we're allowing ourselves to take a break from those different things, it's one, not forcing us to experience it constantly, which is the number one of the most important things. Because what happens in those moments is that we're experiencing that same level of trauma over and over and over and over again. So it's going to be very, very beneficial for you to take some moments to just unplug from whether you decide news, social media, or all of the above. It's going to be very beneficial for you. And with that being said, sometimes it's not just technology that we need to unplug from. Sometimes it's people and certain conversations that we may also need to take a break from as well. So if you're finding that maybe there's a certain group of friends or colleagues who always want to talk about different things that make you feel stressed out and overwhelmed, it's okay to throw up that pause button and to not engage with those things if you know that it's going to be detrimental to your well-being. I always encourage people to identify what your pause button or pause phrase should be for you. And pause button is just that thing that you can automatically go to and throw out as a statement when you're starting to feel like a conversation is triggering for you. A lot of us may be in work environments with individuals who we may not feel comfortable processing our trauma with. And that's completely okay, understandable, and it is completely fine for you to feel that way. If you are being forced to have conversations inside of workspaces that don't feel good for you when you're still trying to process and understand all of the different emotions that are coming up for you right now, sometimes a simple phrase such as, "This conversation is a little overwhelming for me right now. Can we table this and revisit it for another time?" is something that is going to allow you to, one, be able to step away from that conversation in that moment without coming across rude or disrespectful, but also it's going to allow you to be able to advocate for yourself and your needs, which is empowering in itself as well. So I want you to take some time, either today or during this week, to identify what conversations you do and don't feel comfortable with having with people. And that list, you can also extend it to what people you do and don't feel comfortable having certain conversations with, because it may look different depending on the person, and that's all right. So the last thing that I want to share with you all that may be beneficial for you to do during this time is using affirmations. I know, of course, we always, when we hear the word affirmations, think of, the very Hollywood type of image of it, where there's this strong Black woman who has 1,000,001 sticky notes all over her mirror, and she wakes up and she's like, yes, queen, you got this. And if that is how you like doing affirmations, that is completely fine, and you should continue doing that. If that is not your cup of tea for how you enjoy doing affirmations, an affirmation can be as simple as just saying I am and filling in the blank with a statement or an adjective or a phrase that you want to speak over yourself. The more and more that we are speaking certain positive phrases over ourselves, the more and more that we start to internalize them and believe these different things. So with that being said, one that I want to encourage everybody to at least include inside of your affirmation toolkit for this week is this phrase of I am worthy. And if you want to add in something else after that, I am worthy, feel free to. So it can be, for example, I am worthy of being loved. I am worthy of, feeling safe. I am worthy of feeling at peace. Continue to speak these different things over yourself, because you need to remember you are worthy. There are a lot of things going on right now that kind of make us feel a little less than, and that's the thing. We are worthy, and we need to continue reminding ourselves of that so that we don't internalize anything else other than that. So with that being said, there is an app called Think Up that I love recommending to people. It allows you to record yourself doing affirmations. It's something that you can meditate to in the midst of your day, something that you could even just play in the middle of your workday while you're working instead of listening to music, to constantly remind yourself of those different affirmations that you're trying to affirm over your life. And with that being said, they do have different templates that you can utilize, but of course you're also welcome to make up your own affirmations as well. So I just want to thank you all for tuning into this Juneteenth celebration. I am extremely happy to see all of us gathering together during this time to empower and celebrate one another and to help one another get through some of the most difficult moments that we'll ever have to experience in our life, because not only are we dealing with discrimination, systematic injustices right now, but we're also dealing with a pandemic, which is adding a whole nother layer on top of everything right now for everyone. So with that being said, I would love to talk to you all if you have any additional follow-up questions or thoughts that come up from you after listening to this. Again, my name is Alyssa Louise McCall, and I'm happy to hop on a quick care call with some of you if you feel like you need some additional support with navigating things during this time. So feel free to find me on social media at Sis Everyone Needs Therapy. Because we do. We all need therapy, especially during this time. But if you are having difficulty getting to a therapist during this time, I would love to support you with some of these things that you may be experiencing and help you identify some next steps for yourself. So best of luck to all of you with navigating this time, but I look forward to speaking with you soon, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Juneteenth. Thank you.